October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This Saturday, we're going to support that cause. Our players and coaches will all be wearing pink effects. The players will be wearing pink shoelaces, pink wristbands, pink towels. The coaches will have pink pins on their shirts. As you can tell, Coach Toledo's got his pink shirt on today. And then we'll have helmet decals. Also, we're going to be honoring our 1970 Liberty Bowl championship team on Saturday during the game. And Coach is going to talk a little bit more about these as well. And now, Coach Bob Toledo.
Notes up here somewhere. All right. Good going. You like that pink shirt, huh? Yeah. Well, now we have a 3-4 record, and the nice thing about that, it's the best start since 2003. And it's the first ever win that we've had against UTEP in El Paso or against anybody in El Paso. And obviously it was great to see our kids in the locker room after the game. You know, they constantly tell me, and like every player to their coaches, Coach, we want to have fun. And I constantly tell them, you have fun in winning. That's when you have fun. And believe me, they had a lot of fun in that locker room after the game. You know, I've said it all along that their attitude has been great, and I meant it, and it's shown. You know, they've never quit practicing hard, and I don't believe they've ever quit playing hard. And like I tell them, now you've got to take all that work and effort, you know, lifting weights and practicing, and you got to take it to the game field, and they finally did. You know, we played like we practiced. I constantly tell them that, you know, performance is what counts. You know, you can have all the potential in the world, but that just gets you beat. You got to perform. And so we really did a nice job of going out and performing this last week against El Paso. And the one thing that was kind of nice is we started out fast for a change. You know, you look at the first two series, our defense went in there, and it was 3 and out. And we haven't done that this year. And then offensively, we take the ball the first series, we go down 10 plays, we missed a short field goal. And then we get the ball again, we take it down 9 plays, and we score a touchdown. So we were getting after them pretty good those first couple series. The game was tied 3 times during the course of the game. And then in the second half, you know, I believe that we basically wore them down with our running game. And it was obvious in watching the game unfold. It was our best performance running the football this year. I thought our offensive line, which included our tight ends blocked better than they've probably ever blocked since we've been here. They really got after it, and it was a physical football game up front. And, of course, we had several backs that ran extremely well. Ryan probably did his best job of managing the game since he's been here. You know, we give him check with me's where we give him a couple plays to call at the line of scrimmage depending on the defense, and he did a great job. And then we called some plays, and he got us out of bad plays, you know, by audibling. And when I talk about audibling, I tell Ryan basically there's 2 types of audibles. One is a must audible, which means you must get us out of a bad play, and the other one is an advantage audible, which means take advantage of what the defense has given you. He is getting to that point. I mean, it's like the light switch went on last week. It was really fun to see him totally manage that football game. There were a couple times we called a play. I looked out there. We had a 4-man side, which we couldn't run a play into, and I'm saying to myself, oh, man, this is going to be a dead play, and he changed the play. And so he really did a great job. Casey Robottom had a big-time game. I mean, it was a phenomenal football game. He was banged up, beat up. He had a sprained ankle. He had a bad knee, and he just kept battling. He had 10 catches, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. You all know he was named Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week, and he also got one of those ESPN helmet sticker awards, and very deserving of it. I tell you, he's had a heck of a year for us, and he's a go-to guy. If you're going to put your money on a guy, you put it on Robottom. Our defense played really well, too. They were very aggressive. They ran to the ball better in this game than in any game during the course of the year, and I think they've been playing pretty well. But they lit it up a little bit. They answered the bell. You know, we do things grading-wise where we grade loafs. If a guy loafs we downgrade them. Well, we didn't have many loafs in this game. Guys were running to the football. And, I know Steve talks about it all the time. You got to run to the ball and you got to tackle. And if you do that, you'll play pretty good defense, and we did. And we tackled better than we had in the last couple of weeks. The big key, though, is we had 3 turnovers. Last week I talked about how, besides the final score on the scoreboard, the most important stat is turnovers. And I think some of our friends in the state have found out the same thing. You can't turn the ball over and win many football games. It's hard. And, we didn't turn it over, but one time they turned it over 3. Special teams-wise, disappointed in our kickoff return. It's putting us in bad field position. We're kicking the ball relatively good, but our coverage and our tackling has been poor. So, we've talked about it. Doug Lichtenberger, our special teams coordinator, and I have talked, and we're going to change some scheme a little bit. We're going to change some personnel. Hopefully that'll help us this week. SMU is 4-4. 3-1 in Conference USA. They're tied for first place. They've got the number 1 rusher in the conference. They got the number 1 passer in the conference, and 4 of the top 10 receivers play for SMU. So they've got a heck of an offense. Defensively, they're playing better than they've ever played defensively. They are huge up front. Their guys are 6'6", almost 300 pounds, 6'8", almost 300 pounds, and 6'3", the nose guard at 298. So they are huge up front. They're playing a 3-4. They got outstanding linebackers. One of them is an all-league caliber player, in my opinion. They're playing really well. They blocked 6 PAT field goals this year. One guy blocked 6 of them himself last year, so they really get a lot of push, and they present problems for you in the kicking game. Obviously, it's our first of 4 home games. We're looking forward to coming back home and playing in front of our crowd. Captain this week, we've named Kevin Moore one of the captains for the game. He's from Texas. He's been a super leader. He is so unselfish, and he's a great guy to have on your football team. He helps to calm down Ryan and those. He's almost like a player coach, and really pleased with him. As Roger mentioned, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, I've talked to my wife and other people, it's like 1 out of every 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer, and nearly 40,000 of them will die this year. So, we'll wear some pink, as Roger mentioned, to recognize and support all those, who are affected by this deadly disease. And we encourage as many of the fans that come out to watch the game to wear pink as well. And as you notice, I got my pink shirt on today. He also mentioned that we're going to honor the 1970 team who was 8-4 and beat Colorado in the Liberty Bowl. So they'll have a function here Friday night, and then during the game we'll honor that group. There were some great players. I've gotten to know some of them from that team, and it was a great year for Tulane football. Last thing, injuries. The new injuries. I won't talk about old ones, but basically Steve Barnett made a 38-yard run. He probably would have taken it to the house, but he pulled a hamstring, pulled up during the run, and is out. They say anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. So it's pretty bad pulled hamstring, and he really did a nice job for us. Taylor Eccles got a concussion during the game. It's one of the bad type concussions. He's very doubtful for the game. I'm not sure if he'll ever practice this week. Austin Jacks also had a concussion, but he's probable for the game. Hopefully he can practice by tomorrow or Thursday. And Alex Loricella had a real bad elbow injury. He's very questionable for the game. Then of course we got some guys with nicks and bumps and bruises and coming off ankle sprains and those things, but they're all able to play. So we're relatively healthy, and as I said during the beginning of the year, we now feel like we've got some quality depth. The guys can step in and we don't drop off that far, and that's good for a football program. Any questions?